you being a level 1 memer isn't even roastable.
I guess I have a mattress, but it's on the ground.
All I have.
Fucking bed set. You're 24.
I think I would have rathered have just been scammed.
Oh, you were scammed.
We actually have a group chat without you guys.
Getting started with ShipStation is so easy, even we can do it. Ken has his whole life automated. His blinds open in the morning for him, his car drives him home, even the lights turn on when he walks into the room. That's why ShipStation is perfect for us. ShipStation automates delivery notifications, gets you the best rates on shipping, and puts everything in one easy-to-use dashboard. You guys know that we love ShipStation. It's time for you to figure out why. Spend more time growing your business when you automate shipping tasks with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com and use code WIDEOPEN today and sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, code WIDEOPEN. Hey guys, before we get into the podcast, I have a word from today's sponsor. Angie has made it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Whether it's routine maintenance, an emergency repair, or a dream project, Angie lets you browse homeowner reviews, compare quotes from multiple local pros, and even book a service instantly. So next time you have a home project, just Angie that and start getting the most out of your home. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com. Angie. What was I just going to say?
You're going to say, welcome back to Life Wide Open Podcast with Ryan, CJ, myself, Ben, and Jamie. Or sorry, Ken.
Don't call him that.
I know he doesn't like that. Been listening too much Rogan.
Dude, I've been listening to a lot of Theo Von. So funny, bro. He's my favorite podcaster for sure. Besides for you, Ryan.
Thanks, Doc. Have you ever listened to a solo podcast? Like, he'll just do a podcast alone. Have you ever listened to him?
I almost get more enjoyment out of that because I think the funniest part about him is watching him think.
And his ability.
When he like licks his lips and he like looks up in the air, you know he's about to say some outlandish shit. And he does that the most when he's just talking to himself.
It's amazing. I can't believe that he's able to sit there and just like portray thoughts out semi-coherently for an hour and a half.
Like I don't listen to those because I'm like, it's tough listening to a one-person podcast no matter who it is, but
what amazes me is how he manages to come up with these stories on the fly, and they have to all be fake. They have to.
I wouldn't say all. I would not say all.
I would say a majority of them have to be for how outlandish they are, and I've never heard him tell the same story twice.
That's actually what's crazy, is I've told the same story twice 1,000,000 times. And he's always out there on every podcast or every one of his own, never even talks about the same thing twice. Or the same person.
I feel like Mike could do a solo podcast.
I would enjoy it.
Maybe episode 82, that's what we'll do. Just Mike.
Oh, next week.
Yeah.
You got to subscribe to see it, though. We always talk about it at the end. Subscribe now. Huh.
On that tangent, like I have absolutely listened to a substantial amount less music since I started like listening to podcasts. I never listened to podcasts, let's say 2 years ago. Ever. Never, ever. I was like, podcasts are boring. They're for people who want to learn. They're just boring. It's like a talk show.
Who's trying to learn?
Yeah, who's trying to learn?
Why would you want to learn when you're driving in the car instead of listening to dubstep EDM music that is going to make your ears bleed, you know?
Well, it only makes it bleed if you turn, well, unless you're Ben, I guess. No, what I'm getting at is like, that's what it was. It was music in the car, music on the computer, music in your headphones, music. And now I get bored when I listen to music.
I agree.
I get bored. I'm like working and I'm like, I don't feel like I'm getting the juices going right now. I got to put a podcast on. And then the last podcast I listened to was a Theo Von podcast.
Yeah. I feel like there's a big cultural shift into podcasts. People listening to them like you guys.
Completely agree.
Mike, this made me think of it. The other day you posted a Snapchat of you driving or doing something and it had the most aggressive EDM music in the background. Do you listen? So if you do listen to music, you're listening to that, like driving in the car alone?
By yourself, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. I'm like one of those, there's like I listen to anything guys. And then people are like, there's like a whole genre on TikTok. Oh, you listen to anything? And then they play like some outlandish song that's not always dubstep. Sometimes it is.
Dude, that's just one thing I've just never managed to get into.
Yeah. For me, it's just a lot of rap, dubstep, and...
But to be fair... Mike's in like level 10 EDM bwomp music.
So
like
aggressive.
you have to learn into those levels. It'd be like going to just the most lyrical nitty-gritty rap that you've ever heard right off the bat. And never even listened to like DaBaby.
Yeah, or it's like
Eminem.
or it's like rock music, and I'm not super into metal. I
There you
can
go.
appreciate it, but you go all the way to the most extreme metal, and then it's like, oh,
What is
I
this?
like Shinedown and like Rolling Stones, you know. There is. You're right. There's levels to it.
What's your guilty pleasure music? Like, what's the songs that you listen to in the car that like people would be surprised to hear?
I don't know. It depends the crowd, but like around this crowd, it seems like country music
No,
is.
no,
but
no.
If I
this
throw
is
it
not
on
around
with
this
like
crowd. This is
yeah,
like
just
you
you.
in the car. Like, do you really bump Taylor Swift?
And in your head, you're
Or-
like listening to it, and you go, I can't believe I, because that's what I think of sometimes when I listen to the dubstep. I'm like, I can't believe that I love this shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the other route. I think my guilty pleasure is sometimes like the most basic songs where I kind of even hate myself for liking them.
There you go. Like
So-
what? Like,
I don't know, like some shit that you'd hear, like some Ed Sheeran that you'd hear on the radio.
oh, I can picture
that like you guys hop in, I quick change it. Like, damn radio. Or
Can't be
damn
caught listening to
shuffle.
this.
I do love that. I love
Or-
the hopping in someone's car and then seeing exactly that and them changing it. Like for Ken, it actually, we made
It's the
jokes
Ben
about that.
Shapiro
It
show.
is Ben Shapiro. You're kind of like, all right. Well, and you're more doing it like, all right, let me get some music on for you.
Or some Harry Styles or something like that. I would say something basic that is just kind of like
Okay.
it's kind of a little bop.
That is funny though, because I think that's pretty common. Like you have music you listen to when you're driving alone, cranked up, but then when your friends hop in, you're like, oh shit. Depending on who your
cool
friends
this
are,
off.
you're like let's say it wasn't one of you guys, there's maybe one of our other friends that we only occasionally hang out with. I'd probably just be like, boom, just hit like country radio, just let it roll, have it on like medium volume.
Some people are so good at curating a playlist to fit the vibe of situations. Like Ryan's girlfriend Alondra,
DJ.
I always give aux to her or tell whoever is on aux, just let Alondra play aux. Just let Alondra play. Because like you read the room and then you kind of just curate it to that. But then you just like you pick songs that everyone can vibe to that aren't niche almost.
She's got her ear to the ground though. She has new songs before I even like I hear most new music from her.
Well, if you like it, it's not exhausting, but it can be exhausting.
It's a task.
And so if someone's like, you're on aux, but you better play good shit, and like, oh, fine. Then it's like stressful. Justin is also very good at it.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, he's like forgetting to, like sip out of his beer, forgetting to talk to people. Like he's
Just on the phone.
He takes this like
Yeah.
a full-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I just saw that Apple has an update. If you connect to CarPlay when you hop in the car with somebody and multiple people can connect to CarPlay,
That's dope.
then you can throw songs on the queue.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty
The new
sick.
thing.
Spotify had that months ago.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
It's just always funny because
Apple's so
Spotify,
behind.
Apple's always maybe a tick behind, but they always are way better at notarizing a new feature. And then everyone's like, Apple's a genius.
They need
No
to
shit.
put that
I'm on
boats,
Spotify and
dude.
I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
If you could do that on a boat when you're out at the sandbar,
Right?
that'd
It'd be so
lit.
nice. And
That'd be
you never get the like, hey, can you play this song type of deal?
Add it on.
Just
Sweet.
add it.
Well, do you think that's almost giving too much power to people that don't deserve it?
Maybe if the wrong person gets on there, you know?
You know?
Yes, but I love then you have one person in charge and they are able to go, oh, whoa, you hear? Yeah, boop. Skip.
Well, yeah, you get
Yeah.
a gatekeeper. Like Alondra's going to be the gatekeeper.
Right.
Yeah, true.
You know, keeping a real close eye on that queue.
When it's like Saturday at 2 and CJ throws on Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit, she's like, too early. I would say that's CJ's
That's
guilty
like,
pleasure
That's
music.
like 11 a.m. type of
Yeah.
music. Maybe
Yeah,
even
on the
way to
earlier.
it.
That's like when you first wake up on a Saturday, still a little drunk. Turn that
Break
on.
stuff.
You're going to have a
Going.
good day.
Evan's into some real aggressive shit. And then when he starts getting into like the Lil Peep
No,
side
I
of
was
things,
gonna
that it's
say,
like suicide rap.
yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of like,
That's
all right,
when
bro,
it's
now
like-
you're just making everyone sad.
Yeah.
It is interesting because even, again, listen to everything, but a lot of that suicide rap, just check out. I'm like,
Yeah, it's a
isn't-
little much sometimes.
doesn't really
My guilty
sound
pleasure is like early 2000s. And it all started when I bought my Hummer. I thought I have to listen to period current music. You know, when I'm in my Hummer, I got to listen to what people would have listened to in 2005. So I started a Go Get a Hummer playlist on Spotify. And it is the most golden early 2000s to mid 2000s rap. It was a good time.
Dude, I think that's like an era at least in our friend group, that like anyone can vibe to.
Exactly.
Especially like late nights in the Sprinter, you throw that on and like everyone knows every single song and every word to it.
Dude, you know what's funny though? Last weekend we were in with your girlfriend's younger brother and his friends. You could throw on like my cousins are younger, so on the 4th of July I was like, oh, I'll throw on some like Kanye, like All the Lights or like something like that. I'm like, this is gonna hit. Put it on, everyone's like, what is this? And I'm like, oh my God, you guys don't know. Yeah, I went too far back. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I guess.
It's like, you guys never listened to this warming up for a basketball game or something like that?
And then they're like, we never heard it.
Did you guys see the new Apple VR headset that got released?
I saw a picture of it. I didn't quite understand what it was. I didn't click on it.
So I watched the video of the release and everything, or like the promo video that they released with it. Pretty crazy.
Well, what's it do?
Well, it's just a VR headset, but like it's see-through, one, so you can also see like what's going on in front of you, but then it's also like you have your apps in front.
It's like a heads-up display for your life.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it. Yep, heads-up display, but it's like, I mean, looks kind of the same as like an iPhone or an iPad or something like that with like everything going on, and then you use your hands to like select things and move things over, and then you can like so you could watch like a movie and you could go like this and it'll make the movie like bigger and you just sit there, or if you're like scrolling app to app, you can do that. I think you can just do it with your hand, or if you're like working on like a presentation board, you can like grab things over here and like throw them there. It's wild.
Well, that's what I like too. You can have multiple things going, just how you have multiple monitors.
Could I have something going on over here? And then I also have something going on over here.
I'm sure, because then it's probably like full 360, I'd imagine. Maybe. I don't know.
Man, we are just getting closer and closer to the robots coming.
Those fuckers in Wall-E
How much
driving around on their little hoverboards.
Did you guys see how much it's estimated to cost?
$3,500, right?
Yeah.
That's what it said in the picture I saw. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Who the heck is gonna buy that?
A lot of people.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people. That's a lot of money just to. I don't know.
I'd go as far to say as maybe even one of us. I don't know who.
Well,
Probably our Apple Watch
I think
boys.
I know who too.
Yeah. But I mean, I remember that like what changed my mind about like Apple's pricing, which I hate. I think that it's overpriced and you get what you get. But when someone was like, "Damn, dude, $1,500 for a phone," and then other people are like, "It is literally a supercomputer in your pocket," and then I'm like, "You're right, it actually is."
Do you guys remember
What else are you gonna do?
Get an Android.
Yeah, that's not even an option.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you remember when iPhone upgrades used to be like, were they $200 to just upgrade year after year?
I feel like, some of the first iPhones. Someone should look up, Ken, how much was the first iPhone?
I mean, it's probably all relative too, but
The original iPhone purchased off contract was $599.
Okay.
no. Okay, how much was it
Off contract, but it was like $199 with a 2-year contract.
So
Got
that's
it.
what I'm
Okay,
saying.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, $200.
Yeah, they really let those go. I remember that was so fun. Like back before you just basically went and got the most current iPhone. When you'd go there and like you'd pick out your phone. It was like a big decision. You'd
was
be
like
Do
personality.
I get the Envy? Do I get
The chocolate.
Like, do I want a Razor?
Do I stick with the Razor? Yeah.
Right.
How old are you guys?
14.
What
I
grade
got
is,
my
what,
first
what
one.
grade is that?
Going into 8th.
How old were you?
I was like 6th grade.
Yeah, 6.
I think I was 4th.
I had a Virgin mobile phone though, so like it was like a pay as you go. It was different.
I think.
Yeah, and as ages get a little younger, like I think parents can see the benefit of their, I don't know, let's just say
It's different.
12-year-old being able to contact you if there's an emergency, or being able to contact them if there's an emergency. They're used for a lot more than that. I mean, but when you grow up on an iPad,
Yeah, what's the
you know,
difference at
like
that point?
actually,
I think kids are getting younger and younger, or they're
Honestly,
getting phones younger and younger.
Can't blame people for getting their kid a phone just because then it's like
I'd want to know where they
you
are.
know where they're at. It's just like that's the biggest thing. It's like safety almost. But yeah, at the same time, you're kind of like giving them.
that's so
you know,
true, dude. Actually,
There's
like
pros
not,
and cons.
not-
Double-edged sword.
not knowing where your kid is absolutely a thing of the past.
Dude, Steve was telling me the other day that one of his friends that has, I don't know, a 10-year-old or something like that, got him chipped.
Chipped?
The kid?
Like a tracker.
It's in his skin.
Yeah.
They put him under the knife.
I don't know what all it entailed, and he
Under
didn't
the
either
chip.
because I was very curious. But he was like, Yeah, no, he's straight up like chipped.
Well, when do you take
I guess
that
it's
out?
probably like a GPS dog tag type of deal, you know? People get their dogs chipped and shit.
I don't know about that. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, I don't.
it's like submerging an air tag.
Why not just have them? Yes, jeez Louise.
I don't
you
know.
imagine
Maybe
you're
got him
cheap
chipped
and-
young. Talk about a hover parent.
No.
Yeah, dude. That
There's
sucks.
some things that's maybe it's just better if you don't know. You maybe assume, but you just don't know.
About what?
What your kid's doing when you're young. You know,
Oh.
like all the
I thought you
shit.
meant being chipped. Like it's just better if you
Yeah,
don't know
I
if you're
thought-
chipped or not.
Dude, those chips, though, I mean, I'd imagine give off radiation like your cell phone, not to get all like this. But
Probably.
we talked about this a few episodes in the past. Now this dude's got it in his body.
Hard to know because I would like to think
You're right.
that when they made them and were like, yeah, these are actually going to go inside your body. I'd like to think that they alleviated such.
No, probably not.
Radiation.
Probably not. I think they're not concerned about that right now.
Dude, what if you had like a cheap ass parent and he's like, I'm not paying for the chip. It's $1,000. We're putting an air tag in you. He like cuts you open with a pocket knife and slips an air tag
Oh
in
my
there.
gosh.
How am I going to
You
charge
gotta
it?
swallow this.
When you're sleeping, I'll just put the little it's like an Apple Watch charger. You just magnet it to their skin. All right, now don't move for an hour. It should be good.
Ken, can you Google where they would put the chip in a child like
I
that?
think normally it's like your arm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Normally it's like an RFID thing, so it doesn't have power to it unless you're next to something.
You know, we talk a lot about robots over here, but wouldn't it be nice if other tasks were automated too? Maybe unloading the dishwasher or dusting the shelves. We live in an increasingly automated world, but some things still require tedious manual work. But our buddy Big Ken is the master of automation. His blinds open automatically at sunrise. His car drives him home, so leave it to him to have the best shipping software available. Save time automating your shipments and returns in the ShipStation dashboard while keeping costs down with industry-leading discounts. It's so easy to get started with ShipStation. Even we could do it. They have a free 60-day trial. It's an easy and quick setup, and you'll save money on shipping. It's literally a no-brainer to start or switch with ShipStation. And with enterprise solutions that make warehousing optimization easy, ShipStation scales when you do. Get industry-leading discounts up to 84% off of USPS and UPS rates. And if that's not enough, use our code to try ShipStation free for 2 months. Spend more time growing your business when you automate shipping tasks with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com and use code WIDEOPEN today to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, code WIDEOPEN.
And they started finally moving forward with actually putting Neuralinks in people.
Well, I don't know about that, but they got it approved. I don't think they like.
Oh, I figured they'd act pretty fast once it was approved.
How many people you think are lining up to get it?
Probably a lot.
Probably.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Probably
Especially
more
if
than
there's
they can give to.
compensation.
Yeah.
I was sitting down with a couple of my friends. They're all on their way to being doctors. And, you know, there's not too many tables I feel like a real idiot. But you sit down with 2 pharmacists and 3 doctors, 2 of them being surgeons. You really feel like you don't know anything they're saying. But they were talking about how people, one of them works in groin areas. I can't remember what they're called, but basically he's a dick doctor. He's talking about stuff like, yeah, this guy shoved a knife up there, and like all the stuff that people put inside different orifices that shouldn't. And I go, man, I can't even feel that bad about myself. Some people are really messed up.
What the fuck was that guy thinking shoving a knife up there?
He says everybody always says, oh, I fell on it.
No,
Yeah.
Always
he goes-
fell on it.
And
And
the last guy had the same thing happen.
that's
Yeah.
got to be a weird fetish.
yeah, it's he said sexual gratification, which I don't really know what that means, but I do. But
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I
dude.
think about that.
he showed me a picture. It was like a ruler, and it was a stick like this long. He said it was technically a girl or a guy that was a girl, but said had quite the hammer on her because it was a big stick. Dude.
Yeah. What were we talking about before? How did you?
Chip in your kid.
Neuralink.
Before phones, though, like, dude, have you ever your grandparents ever just show up unannounced? Your grandparents are maybe a little more hip, but like my grandparents would always do that because they grew up not having phones. Shit, I don't even know if they had power in their house. So like they wouldn't call and be like, hey, what are you up to tonight? I'm coming over, like a normal person does in this society. They would just show up at your door at like 4:30, and then my dad would come home and they'd be like sitting there. And he's like, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, oh, well, we just figured we'd catch you after work. And he's like, you didn't think to call? One of those deals.
I wish you could go like back in time and experience that as like a video game level. Because I think if we were actually, it would be more of a fun thing. Like, okay, you have to figure out how to get a hold of this person and then execute this, which now is just like, well, I just call them. Oh, I just get their number.
Hot take. I think we're growing up in the best time to be alive.
Yeah, I'd agree. What about this? You hop in a fucking wagon and you go across the country.
I think that every time we go snowmobiling.
Hoping that there's a better life.
Yeah.
Yeah. No roads,
Wild.
nothing.
No, or this. You hop in a boat and you go across the entire ocean off just the slightest chance that life will be better in wherever you're going. The United States. From what you've heard.
We have this resort near us on Pelican Lake, and it's really old. How old is Fair Hills?
Over 100 years.
Yeah, so over 100 years. They have pictures all over the walls. It's like 1915, and it's guys fishing in full-blown suits like that you would wear to a wedding or a funeral or some shit.
Out in the hot sun.
Yeah, in the sun with like a boat with a paddle. And I go, man, you ever think that if you could have teleported back and told them and be like, yeah, people are going to pull up in their
Hummer.
in their Hummer, but in their, like, let's just say $300,000 wake boats with 500 horsepower in them. What do you think they would have said?
I'd imagine that'd be probably pretty hard to comprehend. So what would that be like? Somebody say, I don't know. It'd be like somebody saying they're going to pull up with like a $5 million boat.
Yeah, but now we know what we know now.
I don't know.
I know what you're saying. I'm just trying to like think of like the times, I guess. They'd probably be just very confused as to like how this area got to that point, because the area that we live in right now used to be like extremely rural.
It was hard to get to.
They would have
to take a train, and then there would be a boat that would take you down this like river/canal that connected all the lakes, and they would drop people off at their cabins. So like you'd have to already be pretty wealthy, but they would drop you off, and then the only way to get back is you'd catch the boat when it comes back around. So think about how much slower life moved back then, because you couldn't call anyone, you couldn't mail anyone. So like say you had a job or you lived in Fargo, 45 minutes, you'd take the train from Moorhead all the way up here and then do that. I mean, you talk about slow living. You'd have all your supplies with you, you'd get dropped off, and you'd just wait till they come back.
Yeah, man. I mean, it just kind of shows like, dude, people back then were like tough bastards. Like to be able to go in a horse and buggy across the entire United States.
You had to be to survive, man. But
that's what it was, surviving.
Do you guys ever feel like you're like moving too fast? Like you how I know if I'm moving too fast is I start making mistakes. And then I always tell myself, like, I need to slow down. Like, let's say I'm in a rush, and then I go and I'm like, I'm going to go and try to make this food real quick. And then I end up spilling the food on the floor. Now I spend another 10 minutes trying to clean up the floor, and then it's like, I'm moving too fast, Yeah. Or you make a mistake on the video, and then it goes out, and I'm like, God damn it, I was just moving too fast. Didn't have enough time.
Yeah, I think, well, there's that. Those are like the day-to-day things. And then there's also like the, shit, I haven't done X activity that I used to love doing. Like a month ago, I used to do it like every other day, and now I haven't done it in a month. What happened? Moving too fast.
I think people that can like compartmentalize, is that the correct word for it,
Probably.
Ryan? Thank you. And like focus on certain things and then move on to the next thing, but like not bring the last thing with them, but like focus on exactly what you're doing throughout the day, are like very successful to be able to just like move from thing to thing to thing, and being able to like not multitask, but like get it all done.
100%.
Yeah.
No, that I think
that's
right.
how you
Not
almost like do a
multitask.
good job at everything versus kind of just like half-ass.
Yeah, doing
everything.
a shitty job because you're worried about the next thing already.
Yeah.
And especially in what we do, what a lot of the more successful you're trying to be, the more hands you're trying to put places, but you can't. Let's say you only have two hands, so those have to either work on one or two things at a time, and that's it.
I think that comes with also like just being an obsessive or like having like addictive traits, qualities.
Yeah, I think the more obsessed you are with whatever your goal is, the more the easier time you'll have compartmentalizing your tasks.
Yeah, but you also probably don't focus on other things too because you're obsessed with the current thing.
I just think it's like when the to-do list is like a million tasks long, it's scary. and then you start trying to chip it away at all of them.
Yeah.
Not the move.
You just go brick by brick, and then you got a wall.
True.
Yo, do you guys follow golf at all? No. Okay,
swung
so
a club
do you know
once or
what? Do you
twice.
know what live golf is?
Yeah.
And the PGA.
I heard about this.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so you know how live started, and it's a Saudi Arabia investors that basically funded the entire thing, and then
Isn't it mostly like European based, or they're in the States too?
No, they're in the States.
They're
too.
in the States. They're kind of worldwide.
Okay.
But they basically poached a bunch of like the PGA golfers from the
And then
PGA.
PGA got
for
real
gigantic money.
Massive
lots
bets.
of money.
Gigantic.
Massive.
And then PGA was all like,
Yeah, they're
"You're not
pissed.
coming back."
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But they offered them like $100 million paychecks,
Yeah, huge.
like huge paychecks. Well, anyway, after like the last year of them being in like lawsuits with each other, they just joined.
But did you hear the real beef?
What?
The PGA Tour, in order to go like trying to cancel all the people that left them, all the big players,
Yeah,
and
well-
all of Live Golf, they go, oh, Live Golf supported 9/11 and all that. Like they were trying to say that they were like funding terrorist groups and shit like that.
Well, I think it was more like Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabian, yeah. No, but there was a bunch of stuff about 9/11 and
Yeah.
like anti-American things. But
Yeah.
then the funniest thing is, then the PGA flips and joins them. Does all that shit count now?
Well, I think
What?
it's like extremely hypocritical.
Yeah.
And obviously they had to have known like, all right, if we're doing this, like we look like really bad
Yeah.
from this. But yeah, I think it was ridiculous that everyone was saying that all these golfers that were leaving were like anti-America, supporting Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia for doing 9/11 allegedly. And I was like, no, they're just taking $100 million paycheck.
Yeah, to go play
What would
golf,
you
do
do?
the same thing.
These people like talking shit. Like you're telling me you wouldn't take that paycheck
Yeah.
if you had like that's like generational money.
Yeah. To play some golf.
Yeah.
Like literally get paid 10x.
And now 1 year later, though, now they can go back and they get
Good
their
for them.
they get their
got the
paycheck.
bag
Yeah,
and
they get the
they
bag.
won.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know who really got screwed? All the players that stuck with the PGA,
Yeah.
and then the PGA flopped on them.
I guess
And
they
then
were
switched.
like I guess that those players were super pissed about it.
I bet.
Because then they like, you know,
They were turning this
stuck.
down, yeah.
They stuck with the PGA. We have your back, and then the PGA was like,
Oh, never mind. We'll flip.
yeah,
Dude, you know what? I got to give you two credit with that. You stick to your guns on shit. If you make up your mind, I mean, not that you're not adaptive, but if you have an opinion on something, unless facts are presented that it's something better, you stick to your guns about it. And it goes to show when you flip flop on something like that, you look like a real idiot.
it is a double-edged sword, and it does get you in some greasy situations.
It
but
can.
Yeah, I feel like you got to just stick to it.
But I believe in believing what you believe in is the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
agree with that,
especially if you can just like convince. Well, obviously you've convinced yourself of it.
Yeah.
But then you just stick to it.
Because you know that's like the worst thing is the PGA was saying all those super negative things just to give them bad press and to try to get people not to go because they didn't want to lose their hold over things. They probably didn't even really care about all that stuff. They made it up to make the Live Golf sound bad. But then when they flip on themselves, then it goes, well, what? Did you support all that all along now? Is that still how you feel? Did your feelings change about that? So it's like pretty rough.
It's kind of cool though because like Live Golf started, and they basically wanted to have a completely different approach at golf to make it more interesting and attract a different crowd, you know. And they did that, and they became like the competitor to PGA, which nobody could compete with. And then they basically PGA just had to accept that like this is the new norm, and either they're gonna take us over or we join and get stronger from it. Which is cool though because like there's so many markets that I think are just like dominated by, you know, certain players in the game. And it just shows that like if you do come in with a little bit of innovation or be like somewhat different, like you can be a competitor to that, which is good, I think, because then it keeps everything evolving versus you're just like golf is going to just be golf. I can't imagine a whole lot of listeners right now are like into golf, but
I think
Well,
it just
I was
goes to
a-
show that money is I mean, really where it all goes down. I mean, it boils down to it. As sad as that is, it's like whoever's got the most money.
Well, that's why I was hoping that
That's what
PGA wasn't making these potentially false statements that they may or may not have believed in, all for money, and then like being
trying to protect
hypocritical,
their-
all for money. But yeah, as someone who's like
Yeah,
not a golf fan, to me golf is PGA, so it is cool that it's not anymore.
It's crazy to see like everything going into some form. Like it seems like Saudi Arabia has their hand in so many buckets now.
Because they got all the money,
They
dude.
got so much money, but they're running out of oil, so they're trying to diversify, I think, right? Is that why,
Gotta
Ken?
be.
They're not running out of oil. They're planning for when they do run out
Right,
of oil.
right.
They're
Before
just
they
like
ran out of oil.
they're just like looking 50 years in the future, and they're saying we need to diversify and build up an economy that's not 100% oil based. So when the oil money does stop flowing in, they have money from other sources.
I think it'd be kind of cool to go and check out Saudi
Yeah,
Arabia
I'd love
and
to.
Dubai and over
Dubai
there.
for sure.
Yeah, you guys ever been on Instagram and seen an account post something and just wonder what the heck their media team is doing?
Dude, I think about that
All
a
the
lot when companies try and get like funny meme accounts on Instagram. You notice that? Like certain companies go like the meme route.
And it sometimes they hit Slim Jim really good.
That's a
Really
great
good.
example.
They're
They
the
actually do
epitome.
hit.
Yeah, they kind of like the people actually who really invented it. But I saw one, quite possibly the most odd one, the U.S. Border Patrol. And this is the legitimate U.S. Border Patrol.
I haven't even seen it yet, but I just want to say these guys should not be. They're not messing around. They shouldn't be joking around. They're Border Patrol.
It's still kind of funny though.
And I just wonder what possessed them to make that.
I think they probably went, yo, we need a media team. Or,
Why?
Or one
Why?
person to stay hip with the times and get
Who
employees.
gives a fuck? What are they gaining out of having a media team? All they're supposed to do is protect the border.
Well, I think the more
It's not like they're selling merch or trying to
again, it's
trying
like
to
a
make
dou-
YouTube videos or something,
it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, you're right. It's not
or
like they're
sell a
selling merch,
product online. They're just protecting the borders.
but like the more people that per se know this page exists, get reminded that the Border Patrol exists, and hopefully
So
in
you
turn,
think they like
Yes.
targeted maybe Mexico and just was like sponsored post, and then it's just the Bugatti showing Border Patrol Tahoe?
Maybe.
dude, I completely agreed with you, CJ, and then I saw it and I laughed, and I'm like, wow, here I am laughing.
It was
But
funny.
There's accounts. So let's just like say the Philadelphia Eagles, and there's some like, you know how they call them like shit posts and like shit memes. They're like so out there that if you showed any like 50-year-old person, they go like, actually, what did I just watch?
They're like level 10 memes.
Yeah.
They're like only funny if you've really been through a lot of meme.
Right. So they'll post something like that, and I'm just like, man, like I can't believe they did it, but I still like it. And there are, including the Border Patrol, there's just pages that should be cut and dry. And I think the Border Patrol should be cut and dry.
It should just be pictures of them with like everyone they caught or like protecting, you know, just a picture of someone with a sniper sitting up on a tower.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Yeah, they could
Be
make
pretty
like hard
badass.
edits.
Yeah.
and- not like that. Not hard edits like that. Like a legit one.
I'm assuming though that they go, all right, what's the demographic or age range of people we're trying to hire?
What are the kids listening to these days?
And they go, all right, these kids are on Instagram and TikToks. Let's start making those. And they went out and they hired some kid. And the kid is sitting there like, how do I make this shit entertaining? And he's sitting there late at night and goes, yo, I'm going to make an edit of one of the patrol cars to this song. And that's how that was born.
I think one thing, yeah, I agree. But I think one thing you're forgetting in that aspect is that usually when you hire a social media person for any job ever, for any company, usually someone else sees it before it goes live. In this case, either other people saw it before it went live and went, yeah, if you really think this is going to work, and like trusted him, or they just gave him free reign.
I mean,
appreciate
to
that.
be fair, it did work. They have 1.2 million views. That was way
I
more
think
than all
actually
the rest of their vids.
1.9.
Yeah.
So either way, I mean, popped off from.
But yeah, I know what you're saying, Ryan. I've seen a few where a company is like, is this real? And then you go check their page, and it really is Macy's posting this.
It's like the modern day version of when you would go bowling and you get a strike, and it's just some outlandish shit of like the pins all explode and then something
Turkey
happens.
pops out.
Yeah.
I
Like
don't-
some of them were like really aggressive.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't understand how it correlates to that at all.
It's like the modern day, like those used to be like funny memes, like just like outland, like you're scrolling on Instagram.
but no,
I actually like that take. Yeah, something that just makes no sense, but you can laugh at it.
right.
I think most of those bowling ones that you see now are just animations made to look like they used to be a thing but aren't a thing because they're like pretty aggressive.
Ryan, pull up the Buffalo Bills Instagram.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
a
they're
great
pretty
example. Buffalo Bills has a very deep level of like shit memes that most people wouldn't get. And then you see the comments and people are like, yo, give the social media guy a raise. Just give him the company.
I do think it's funny though when certain companies or franchises or brands decide to go the
They
meme
just
route.
F it.
There's like two routes on social media: clean and like corporate,
Yep.
or meme.
I don't think you'll find a staff.
His makeup is going to help him.
The margin for error is so small. Wrong angle.
Yeah, man, I got to get some rest.
It's hard for me to believe that we are the only intelligent life.
Sean can tell you.
There's players on this roster. There are extensive conversations on this roster. There are on this roster.
Like I'm talking,
Dude,
this is level 10. Like this is
How many views I have?
1.1
Wow.
Yeah,
compared to 270 or 178 of some guy probably scoring a touchdown and fucking winning the game right here.
like how do you get in the mindset to
I
make
don't even
something
know.
like that?
Because I should say showing that to someone is like showing it's like, hey, this is a person speaking German and you don't know how to speak German. That's similar to that. Well, I don't know what that was about.
You guys, I have something to admit. I'm sure it's no surprise, but just because you guys know me, I think I am like a level one meme guy. Like I am so.
It has to actually be funny for you to laugh at it.
Yeah. I think it has got to really be funny
And
or obviously fun. I don't fucking know. Maybe I just don't
I can
find that stuff
appreciate that.
funny. I don't know.
I didn't look at that and go, oh my God, that is so funny.
Right. It's more
that's a
funny the
level
whole
10.
scenario.
That's a level 10 meme.
That was.
Like
and
Justin would look at that and Justin would know every single meme and think that shit's
Fucking
hilarious.
cackle to it.
But yeah, I think you being a level 1 memer isn't even roastable. Maybe it is.
Throw it, but I can't believe you just called CJ a level 1 meme.
I am.
That's the
I am,
most
that's the
whack
truth.
thing I've ever heard anyone say in my life.
It's not even really roastable, but there are laughable moments at every level. And I knew CJ was a level 1 memer when his little brother Jake got the video game Big Chungus, which for those of you that are memers know that that's not a real game. That's just a funny thing to say. It's a fat Bugs Bunny, and he got a video game called Big Chungus, and CJ is like, what the fuck is that game? What's Big Chungus? What's he playing these days? And I'm like, I didn't even tell you that it wasn't a real video
No,
game.
I mean I figured it out,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean I just don't.
It's just
I don't get
too
it.
good.
I don't
And it's
get
just
it.
not funny to you.
I mean, it's kind of funny now.
Yeah.
Big Chungus. It's kind of a funny name.
Well,
but-
I guess there is that too. There's like, you don't find it funny enough to, spend your time looking into
I
it.
think some people just really enjoy it, and that's awesome. And they spend a lot of time, so they're with it, with the memes,
Do you guys have?
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say like Justin's big memer. You're, I'd say, pretty with it. Whistling Diesel, that guy obviously really likes memes. He's always posting them on his story.
We actually have a group chat without you guys.
That's
Never mind.
fine.
It's actually
honestly.
titled The Only People That Will Understand.
It is.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Save
It's
me
like the
from it.
same thing with like dubstep, like the wiggle dick music.
It's likable, but
Well, by
Not-
some people, but
but
some
it-
people think it's good music. Some people don't. Some people like the memes. Some people don't.
Some people like good music.
so I was just like a little transition from that. Do you guys have your suggested posts on Instagram?
I think so.
I have a love-hate relationship with that. Like they integrated it in. It's basically like peppering in your explore page, but on your feed. It's more than just the people you follow. And I have a love-hate relationship with it because I really enjoy it. But guess what? It takes up more of your time. I remember at one point, Ben followed so little people that he would hit you've reached all your people you can scroll. And
yeah, they don't do that anymore. They just hit you as suggested.
So
yeah, they want you to keep going.
Right. And I turned that off because it's like, damn, I follow like enough people where like I never hit that. So clearly you could keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I'm just intrigued by it because like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing if you have it on, but like you literally end up scrolling for longer because of it.
Man, I already scroll too much. So
I don't know how you do it, Mike. You too, Ryan. You guys follow a shit ton of people, and Evan.
I never get through them.
No.
Never.
No. But that's what I mean. That's why I turned that off because I've never, ever, ever, ever hit that. Like, you've scrolled all you can scroll of all you're following.
Do you ever think about those people that follow 0 people?
I do.
Like, what do they do? How do they even know what's going on? They just go to the Discover page?
I always wonder that.
Danny follows 0. Like, a lot of people follow 0 people.
Really?
Yeah, or they just look people up, maybe.
Yeah, it seems like a real hassle.
I wonder what this person's been up to.
Yeah, like
I could follow them, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like,
Your
I'm
own
not
friend,
one to
like,
talk.
I wouldn't even know if you ever posted.
Because like I follow a lot of people, so I'm not one to talk. But you're right. Like there's just some people that's just easier. Just your life is easier if you just follow them because you're genuinely interested in
Maybe
what they're
it's
doing.
better. Maybe you're better off without it though, because then you don't have a distraction.
I don't even.
And you're just like, fuck everyone. Maybe not fuck everyone, but you're just like, I don't need any influence from anyone.
You know what though? When I'm on CBoys Instagram and it just follows us and the podcast, it's still pretty like curated to, I guess, what I like, which is amazing because I maybe scroll on that like once a week, if that. And it's kind of nice though because it shows you things that I like normally wouldn't look or scroll past on my normal account. Mm-hmm. And then you see like a side of Instagram or maybe a side that is like new. And then I'll go to send you guys something. And I realize that I'm in CBoys. So that's why I just added. So that's why I added CBoys to our group chat because I always find memes or like something that's really funny and I want to send it to you guys.
Do a lot of people at home have that? Like, do you know of other friends groups that have an Instagram group chat? Like ours is active.
That's gotta be a thing.
That is a
like
great.
we send like 5, 10 a day in there,
and it could be whatever we're into, but anything. I mean,
crazy
memes
video,
and cars and boats and crazy video, everything.
I don't even scroll Instagram anymore. I'm a Facebook guy, solely Facebook. And before you berate me for being on Facebook, because I would for myself, it is only because of Marketplace. Marketplace is my social media, dude.
I kind of enjoy scrolling
so
Facebook
fun.
and just seeing what the people I like actually know are up to.
Oh, that too, dude.
Who's getting married? Who's
far
getting
as
pregnant?
Yeah, then again,
The
you're
marketplace thing, though, Ryan. So it's only a matter of time, and this is coming off of what we just talked about on Instagram. The whole For You vibe, like TikTok, the whole like curated thing is probably a good thing. I like it. I enjoy it. It brings you things that you probably already would like. But now it does it on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
It's dangerous and it's awesome. You don't even have to look up vehicles anymore. You don't have to look up CR 125. It just gives you all the things that it knows that you're going to like. But the best part about it is that none of it's fake. Like, it's all real stuff for
You
sale.
can spend your real money on
You
it.
know Mike loves that.
I can tell Mike's
know
new in
he
the
loves
Facebook
that.
Marketplace game because he's been spending his money.
Yeah, Mike, you
Mike's
got
got like he's like known as the guy. They're like come to him like, I got some stuff I need sold. I need some money quick. They're like, I know a guy. He's just over the hill on Highway 11. And they go, just ask for Micah. Go to that building, ask for Micah. Bring him your stuff.
They're
Bring
like,
stuff. What do you think?
how much are you trying to sell it for? They're like $120. Oh, you got to hit up Ryan for that. How much you trying to sell it for? $4,000. You got to hit up Micah for that. Because I remember when Ryan was known as the sucker. I mean, I'm just like,
Oh, yeah.
saying what you guys said. Ryan used to be known as a sucker, but that is all because he bought a shitty snowboard at Heydays from a kid because you were being nice.
I only bought one shitty snowboard, and the kid turned around and took the whole $120 and spent it all on CBoys merch.
Oh, okay.
Like the
That's even
whole
better.
$120 bag.
that dude just hustled you. You guys watch Gary V's garage sailing videos at all? So Gary V is a very, very wealthy man. Very wealthy. But he'll go into a garage sale and he'll go, how much you want for this? I need $5. Best I can do is $2. kicks him in the nuts.
Why?
And he walks out and goes, already checked eBay on this one, bought it for 2, gonna sell it for 14. Add it to the next garage sale.
I can see it just high.
Why?
See, that's what I'm saying. People do not pay what they're asking ever. Don't pay what they're asking.
What? But why? Why with him? If he's got all that money, why is he trying to make $12?
I don't know.
He's always
Loves the
trying to
game.
show like that you can, even if you don't have money, you can make money. Is just kind of his
makes sense.
gimmick. Like,
And the content made from that is worth a lot more than $12.
yeah, true.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
That guy's a meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel like if you get too deep in anything, you're a meme.
Actually, that is a good point because I was like, I've never really met anyone, or if I have, I'm like, I don't know if I can take them seriously. If they're a true, like, hey, have you listened to Gary Vee? You need to listen to Gary Vee. You need to listen to him and you need to execute what he's telling you to do.
Is it ever anyone that's like super wealthy telling you to do that, or like
right?
super
I don't know anyone.
No, I
like,
actually
yeah, you got Gary Vee. You're like, wow, that's how you made $1 million.
I thought you were gonna say I've never met a meme in real life.
Oh man.
Yo, can we tell the John Wheeler story? All right, right, you tell it.
So we're at this place.
Well, no, who's John Wheeler to preface?
John Wheeler is the weatherman.
He's a local
He's a
weatherman.
local weatherman.
But I'm sure
But everyone listening has one.
Yeah,
You know, like everyone has their local weatherman that's
Szymanski.
kind of a legend.
And he's been weathermanning for like 40 years.
So
Like,
he's in a lot of
the
people's
game.
lives.
Yeah, everybody knows John Wheeler. So anyway, we're at a local bar, which is like maybe a little more classy of an establishment. And
Restaurant.
Yeah, bar, restaurant. And the crowds overlap. You have kids that are there, like us, getting Saturday night wasted. And you've also got businessmen and weathermen and other adults there trying to get drunk. So I walk in the bathroom and John Wheeler is there using the bathroom. And there's like 3 or 4 guys kind of surrounding him, like talking to him and stuff like that.
While he's pissing?
Poor dude's, got his Johnson out. His John Wheeler out. He's got his John Wheeler out. You know, trying to just use the bathroom, be a normal guy. And these kids are they got him cornered in this bathroom. And John, bless his soul, is a bit of a shorter stature guy. And they got him cornered in the bathroom. He looks panicked, right? And so I kind of go like, hey, fellas, back off. And as I put my arm out, John Wheeler dips under my arm and runs and scurries out of the bathroom. And I don't really know how we twisted it from there. But I think it started that I told everybody that I just saved John Wheeler's life in the bathroom. And then I said, we should go get shots in honor of him. And then now we always tell our friends to order a John Wheeler. And it's not a real shot.
But Tint last weekend when we were there, Tint went up to the bar and tried ordering a round of John Wheelers, and the bartender was obviously very surprised and confused. Tint's like, you can see him across, like using his hands and like doing this, like pointing back, and she's like, you see it on her face, and then he turns around and we're standing there going,
laughing at him. But yeah, I felt bad for the dude,
that was a meme.
He was a local celebrity, but he is a meme now.
Yeah,
Like,
just
his
off of
name
one
brings joy
story.
and laughter.
But luckily, like, he's not a meme because of anything that necessarily happened in the bathroom. He's just a meme because you saved him. And I love that it was you who saved him because you're like, listen, I get it. The guys in there were excited. I don't think they were trying to.
No, they weren't trying to be mean,
do anything, but
they had him
you're
cornered.
like from
weird.
one man in the spotlight to another, you saved him.
No spotlight as bright as the Fargo weatherman spotlight. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
I think John Wheeler, in the eyes of a lot of local people, would be a much bigger star than us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Like,
100%.
They know who he is. That's the first step right there. So
Yeah, they actually know who he is.
And that's the case with any weatherman, I believe,
Yeah.
or any TV personality.
I did have a guy at the Roadhouse this weekend. He tried to, I was peeing, and he tried to dap me up. And I was like, I'm busy right now. Like, we love talking to people, stuff like that. I don't think I've ever turned anyone down. But I was like,
little
this is
weird.
not the time, man.
what if 3 guys came in and cornered you while you were peeing?
Well, fuck, I hope Dana Mock or fucking Too Tall Tom Szymanski was there to save me. Other weathermen.
I was hoping you'd bring Too Tall up. I think the weatherman usually get the they're not always, but they usually are like the cool ones. The other guys just
I don't
tell
know
the
if
news.
they are. I feel like people are always mad at the weatherman. Like
Well,
they're
that's
like,
true.
oh, he never right. They're always complaining about him.
You think they blame it on them though?
Yeah.
I think-
I don't.
yeah.
I don't think it's their fault in the slightest. But
But
I
they
think
are
that
blamed.
people blame him. They're like, oh yeah, he's always wrong. I change it to channel 10.
That's right. You get people that are like, yeah, it was supposed to rain. Oh, well, what are you watching 11? Yeah, you shouldn't be watching that. You got
Go over to 6.
I don't know
Yeah.
if people say that anymore because now everyone just checks their phone. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I do say Weatherbug is pessimistic. Weatherbug is always saying it's going to rain. Apple Maps doesn't.
I mean, I check the weather, of course, a lot less than your average person. I just like to know the big, like, oh, it's going to be hot tomorrow or cold tomorrow. Might rain, might not. Other than that, it just whatever the day brings.
Man, I've been so just like going into every single day not knowing like what we're going to end up doing that day or how things are going to go. I found that I started bringing like 3 pairs of clothes.
You have to.
Pair of pants, pair of shorts, a swimsuit, a couple shirts in case you ruin a couple shirts or it gets sweaty and then it gets cold. You need the pants. I never know like what's going on. So I'm like travel around with a little duffel bag full of clothes now.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, especially in the changing seasons, like where you actually might need a coat, hat, gloves, boots, and then you go inside and you're like, oh, I just need a t-shirt.
Speaking of that, Ben, how's things going with your new house?
Things are going.
Because now you have to travel a little bit further to get to work. So I mean,
I noticed
makes
you have been a
sense.
little more late than normal.
Where are you staying there right now?
Yeah, I moved in last week.
I just the last time I talked to you, which was last week, I guess, about it. We're like, you staying there, and you're like, there's nothing in there. So I
Well, there
figured-
still is nothing in there.
Right.
So yeah, I closed on the house, but they took everything out, which was kind of bullshit because it was like in the contract. I thought so. I moved it first day, turnkey, move in, nothing in there. I go, all right,
double check that contract. Be like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I
I
think
was
it
supposed
was
to get furniture with this.
after I got it inspected. If I came and kicked them in the nuts, then they were gonna like take it, whatever.
Did you kick him in the nuts?
I mean, a little bit.
No,
Nice.
that's what happens then.
Yeah.
The only thing turnkey about it was that the key turned.
Yeah. Yeah. It is funny though. I feel like one of those stories about like the rappers that go out or the NFL players that go out and buy a big new house and they move in and
There's
Nothing in
nothing in
yeah, there's nothing in it. And then
Freaking card table and a couple chairs.
so no, it's a work in progress, but yeah, I'm still sleep. I guess I have a mattress, but it's on the ground.
Is it really?
Dude, I was.
Oh my god!
I
dude.
was hoping.
Yeah,
that,
bro, that's
like,
all I
Get a
have.
fucking bed set. You're
Wait.
24.
Yeah, but my thing now that I'm like finding is I'm very indecisive
Oh.
on decorating and things
Really?
like that. Yeah, bro.
That's
I'm,
weird.
I'm
It's
not,
more
a,
work
I'm
than
not,
anything.
a, I'm
Incredibly
not an
decisive
interior
person.
decorator.
That's
bro.
true.
And
That's
I
true.
want to do it right, and I don't want to do it twice.
Makes
so I'm
sense.
like, I'm just not gonna do it until an interior designer, which is wild because I never fully understood the draw of interior designer. I was like, paying somebody to decorate, I can decorate that. A lot harder than you'd think. A lot
Houses,
harder. And
yeah.
if you're okay with just biting the bullet and just like paying them, it's gonna probably turn out a lot better than it would with you. And if it does turn out with you, or if you do it, then you're not gonna like it, and you're gonna have to do it twice. So I'm like, I might as well just go that route.
How much is that going to cost though?
I don't know.
I feel like that's just expensive. I guess it depends who you hire, but
Yeah, I feel like you just got to make up your mind of what you want your room to look like,
Well, it
But
depends on your
Also, it's their job.
or just
you give
tell
them
your
a
girlfriend
budget.
to make up your mind.
right.
Well, I found out.
That's what I do.
Well, that's what I thought too. And I found out Greta is not an interior designer either, and she knows just as little as I do.
Shit.
I think
Like the
what,
blind leading the blind.
what people struggle with, like kind of what you said, just pick what you like and make your
Fine.
room. But I think my struggle would be then, okay, well, I can handle that. But what if all the things I like don't go together? And then the eyes of an interior designer definitely don't go together. But that's how I'm like, well, I like this, 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 and this. And then you like put them in your room and you're like, it just looks like a high schooler designed this.
And I
Mike's
guess
got a
you know
fucking
a lot of people are probably like,
poster
"Oh,
on the wall.
you know, it doesn't matter that much, or who cares?" But it's like,
It does.
I mean, it kind of does if I want to invite over, you know, people have the house halfway presentable. I don't want to be just like the dude that has no fucking idea what they're doing, which is exactly where I'm at right now. That's why I have done nothing. I met the neighbor though. The neighbor came over last night actually, and he goes, "Holy shit, you're here!" And I was like, Yeah, I told you I'm gonna be the best neighbor that you have because I will never be here. 'Cause I haven't been there. And he gave me a plate of cookies and goes, by the way, been watching your guys' videos. Gotta say, you guys are fucking wild.
Yeah, great. We actually are selling headquarters. We're moving into the garage right here.
Yeah. And I was like, how many videos have you watched? And he was like, a couple. Then he started talking about videos from like last year. And I was like, oh, you've watched quite a few. And he was like, yeah, it's pretty much all we've been doing.
Oh my.
Ever since they heard you're moving into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be really concerning. Like, I feel like that's not good research.
Yeah. No, it isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but it isn't.
I don't know. They were cool though. They were like, come on over. Let's get some drinky poos and have a good time. I was like, yeah.
Sound like great neighbors.
Yeah.
They brought
Yeah,
you
there you
cookies
go.
and invited you over for drinks.
That's what I said. I go, yeah, you keep bringing cookies over and invite me over to get some beers with you. Yeah. This is going to be a good relationship.
I have a confession. I think I have a secret admirer that isn't secret to me, but I know who she is. But I think I have a admirer.
Who?
Not a stalker and admirer.
Oh
my.
Maybe a stalker.
What is this?
It is the lady who makes our jerseys.
No.
Yeah.
From China?
Yeah. Her name is Jenny, I think. I think that's her Americanized name. She recently just texted me and said a bunch of sad eyes emojis and said, "Hello, Ryan. You've been 3 months and not reply me. Haha." And then just
We'll send her some
today,
money.
just today, she responded 3 crying faces
Oh.
Ryan,
because I've been kind of blowing her off.
ask her for her Venmo. You and Mike could both send her some money.
We have sufficiently
Yeah, I was like,
ordered.
how
from
about
her.
this?
Yeah,
I'll
well,
just
that's why she keeps calling you up.
I'll give her a new jersey design. We'll call it even.
But look at all these,
Oh
dude.
my gosh.
So
Hey, hold on. What's
many.
that selfie that you just sent right there?
No, it's actually a
Why's
mic.
your shirt off?
I
It's
just
not, I swear.
I want to preface that all the Chinese suppliers that we find ourselves going back and forth with, the ones, I don't know, who knows, maybe they just use Translate. Some of them I'm sure speak English. They are very forward and they're like let's be friends. Yeah, like let's add me on WhatsApp. But they also like, it's not like talking to a real person, which is weird. And this lady in particular, to Ryan, hits him up all the time and adds emotion to it for whatever reason, when there shouldn't be emotion in any garment overseas deals or anything like that.
Like the lady who does our flags, Cherry,
Man,
straight business.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of people fall in love with Alibaba sellers.
You think?
I could bet, dude.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a mail order
I
bride.
work with them. I've never even fallen in like with them.
Hmm.
Although my boss at Corwin, the car dealership I used to work at, he worked in a different department, but he found a lady. She was a massage artist, and they fell in love and got married. But he was telling me shit. He was always sending her money, always sending money back home. And I was like, dude,
And did she ever come?
you are getting scammed. Yeah, they got
Came to
married.
America.
They
No
got married.
way.
Wow,
And
Jesus.
If he'd listened to me, dude, they would have never been married because I was like, you are getting scammed.
Getting ripped off,
for
yeah.
sure.
Speaking of getting scammed, Mike, whatever happened with your Surons?
Dude, I want those to get here.
Well, here, if this explains how it's going, I was on the World Wide Web yesterday and I was looking at the new Talaria, which is like the other Suron. And I'm like, man, the new ones look sick.
I should buy 12 of them.
No,
From
I
Alibaba.
no, absolutely not. I was looking on the legit site and I go, man, I should probably just buy one legitimately for the regular price that they are, and it'll probably show up.
Most likely.
So yeah, to answer your question, like, I mean, no, they kept reaching back out. They're like, yo, you need to pay the customs charge. And then I was like, I don't want to pay that much money for bikes that I didn't order, you know?
So did you ask to like get your money back or anything like that?
Yeah, and they were then that's when they get quiet. I'm like, I would love to cancel this and get a refund, and you can ship it back, ship the 11 bikes back. So essentially, yeah, I was like, please, I paid for the one, clear the one, ship it here. I said this, I didn't plan on it. I was like, I'll even pay more for you to somehow split that up. I just want to pay to ship this bike here because that bike is already owned by me. If for some reason the other 10 bikes did get cleared for free, I still technically have to pay for them. I mean, I know once they're in possession, like who knows? I'm not trying to be scummy. I'm not trying to scam anyone. If I had 11 bikes here, I would feel comfortable paying for them because I could just resell them. But yeah, I just chalked that up as an L, which I kind of did the first time I brought it up.
How much money?
Like $3,000 total.
Oh man, that sucks.
So I think that is So the new Tularias that came out 4,500, and that cool. Well, if I buy that, I'm 8,500 into my e-bike essentially, all because I wanted to
got a 450
save.
Yeah, all because I wanted to.
It is a bummer because I really thought that you were just one day it was just going to show up in a box. I had a little bit of faith.
I think I would have rathered have just been scammed. Honestly, I would have rathered.
No, you were scammed.
Well, yes. Well, yeah, I guess.
But then you got what you wanted. You gave him the money and you got ripped
No,
off.
well,
You didn't get the bike.
I would. All right, it's like I would have
What
rather.
exactly do you think happened?
I would have rathered have been like, okay, cool, you shipped the bike, and then they're like, yeah, we did, and then they didn't do anything. But
that's exactly what.
I see what you're saying. You're torn up. You're like, do I give him the money and maybe get it, or am I?
No, yeah. There's that. I'm saying.
So who's scamming you?
Essentially,
Mexico.
the shipping company, not the.
Did they send it though?
Send what?
No.
You still think that they actually sent the Suron, and to get the one Suron you have to pay for the other 11, but I don't think they sent anything.
Oh, then that's weird.
The tracking information that you got that they sent, Ken looked up and it was like a bag that was shipped air or something like that. Like it wasn't that.
But that's
so I don't think they sent anything.
And that's what's weird is then, well, yeah, maybe they're completely working in collaboration with each other. I'm just saying, I wish, like, where did this whole we shipped 11 bikes come from? Like, I'm like, 11? Why is there 11? And then the shipping company's like, well, that's how that's how many you ordered. So you got to clear the shipment. All of it's effed because then why would they ask me to pay? Yeah, I mean, like, it's obviously a scam. I feel dumb, but why would they ask me to pay to clear one bike? And then they were like, cool, thanks for payment. You want to pay to clear the other 10?
Because it's
and then that's when I was like, what? Yeah. But yeah,
Honestly,
I wish
Mike,
it just would have been like, yep, we shipped it. Cool. And then they just like never spoke to me again. It's so much easier to chalk up as an L.
It's tough because we order a bunch of stuff from China and Alibaba.
And that's where it came from. My false trust was absolutely from ordering some custom stuff we've done overseas, and we've had good luck. We send wires across the world to China, and we get product, but not this time. Not this time.
Pretty good ratio.
Yeah.
Still waiting on the underwear that Ken ordered a bunch of years ago.
Ken, whatever. Hey, Ken.
Shit.
Hey, are you going to get our money back from those? I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding.
Never sent a full wire. I just sent for a sample.
No, you
No,
sent
no.
half. No, you sent half of the sample or half of the wire.
That was like $500, but
I think it was $750.
It's not always legit. I think that is sometimes where maybe we have I wouldn't even say it like this, but maybe we have an upper hand taking the risk to do that stuff. I really do love Alibaba and what you can go on there and get anything you want made. And if you do have the money for
ships
it,
and trains,
anything
and shit.
that you want. I mean, like cups and socks and fake cats and desks and wheels and exhaust and anything that you want made, you can get made there. And there's some minimum order quantity, but you got to take the risk because not all of it's legit.
Yeah, I think that's how like most people drop ship. Like everything you buy off of Amazon that some kid is sitting in their basement drop shipping comes from Alibaba.
But at least
bulk.
it's really
Yeah, I agree.
important to establish a relationship because once you have some product in hand, you one, know that they'll give you something for the money that you give them, and two, know that it's good. Then you're kind of locked in. Then you can kind of
And then you start getting weird texts late at
Yeah.
night like Ryan.
That's true. I would say with the Jersey lady, we are locked in. We can send her a design, and she's kind of like going to work the next day.
Still a little confused on the shirtless picture, but
Had to get our jerseys extra fast.
We have a surprise merch drop that's in 2 days. Could we get jerseys for it? And Ryan's like, if I send her a dick picture. I'm just kidding.
I did not.
I will
No, I'm just
hand
kidding.
deliver. As long as Ryan is there.
I didn't send any dick pics to any Chinese ladies.
Wait,
Yeah.
can you play a video to end this out before we wrap? This is how I would explain. This isn't Theo Von. He just does impressions. This is how I would explain to someone what it's like listening to Theo Von without actually like knowing who he is.
Pull up a pregnant woman doing a damn backflip, dude. Riley, pull up a picture of the American flag fucking dipped in some damn chocolate. Pull up a damn ferret trying to kick a meth habit, dude. Pull up a damn watermelon with a doctorate in political science. Pull up a picture of... Riley, see if we can find a picture of the face of Satan, dude. See if we can find him. Pull up how many hot dogs you can eat in public back to back without getting looked at. Riley, pull up pictures of all the different Pokemon with Down syndrome. I think we could, Riley, pull that up. See if you can find a picture, maybe a video of it. What happens if a teddy bear suddenly gains consciousness? Look up how long you can live on a strictly sea monkey's diet. I don't know, we could probably find now. Riley, Google if chickens can be bisexual. Riley, pull up if somebody's bodily composition can be somewhat made of helium. Riley, find out what percentage of felines are lesbians. Riley, pull up the statistics on how many Keebler elves overdosed on opioids in 2013. Pull up how many times you can punch a nun before you get sent to hell, dude. Can we get forgiveness on everything or just... Riley, pull up the face of God, see if we can find his face. Yeah, Riley, pull up a picture of that. See what, search for if Grendel from Beowulf had a fucking offshore bank account in the Cayman Islands.
Bro, what?
Dude, that's so
that was
accurate.
a spot-on impression.
Yeah, Theo Von is an incredible man.
Love that guy. All right.
Alrighty, sounds good. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.